In the initial scene, Jonas Taylor, Jason Statham, is an expert jumper who attempts to safeguard a gathering of jumpers from a destroyed submarine. Jonas prevails with regards to getting some of them ready, including Dr. Howler, Robert Taylor, yet something begins going after the sub fiercely. This powers Jonas to settle on a hard decision, against Howler's dissent, to forsake the submarine to get away from unavoidable demise. They get away from without a moment to spare as the concealed power obliterates the submarine and vanishes. After 5 years. At Mana 1, a submerged examination office off the Bank of China. It is worked by a gathering of researchers initiated by Jack Morris, Rainn Wilson, and Dr. Minwei Zhang, Winston Zhao, and Shoto Zhang's girl Suyan, Bingbing Li, Far-Off Wayfarer DJ, Paige Kennedy, Jack's Crowd, Ruby Rose, the previously mentioned Dr. Howler, Macintosh, Precipice Curtis, Lori, Jessica McNamee, Toshi, Macy Oka, and The Wall, Oliver Dario-Lafson. They are directing an investigation close to the seafloor, including bypassing a puzzling hydrogen, utilizing a little submarine steered by Lori, Tosh, and The Wall, and investigating what's underneath. Everything appears to be okay from the start, yet the triplet is gone after and abandoned by something enormous and quick, making them lose contact with Mana 1. They later take a stab at making power back ready, yet are gone after once more, and Lori is injured by a screwdriver getting smashed into her stomach. The remainder of the group, after much discussion, choose to accept Macintosh's recommendation and call Jonas in to assist with protecting their abandoned companions because of his involvement in safeguarding individuals from such a profound, risky region of the sea. In any case, Howler is against this as he suspects Jonas went off the deep end from his awful experience a long time back and doesn't completely accept that Jonas' case is that something went after him and the jumpers he was attempting to safeguard. The arrangement goes on in any case. Sadly, Jonas has plainly been better, as he's found in a Taiwanese bar drinking routinely and irritating neighborhood boat proprietors whom he continues passing over fixing their boats. Macintosh and Dr. Zhang meet with Jonas back in his room. Jonas at first attempts to renege on the circumstance by offering the 2 beverages and prudently reproaching any proposals of cash. Eventually, in any case, he consents to go along and help. In the meantime, Suyan attempts to go down and salvage the caught group herself in a small sub not long after Jonas shows up. Jonas takes off after her to help, yet not prior to promising Suyan's young girl Miyang, Shuya Sophia K, that he'll bring her mother back no problem at all. Suyan rapidly tracks down the adhered sub and prepares to tow them back to the surface when a monster squid goes after her. Before it seems to be her sub will be harmed, the squid is immediately killed by the guilty party of the past assault, a 75-foot-long ancient beast shark called a Megalodon. This shark is a similar one Jonas experienced 5 years back that nearly killed him, consequently demonstrating his mental stability. Jonas momentarily baits the shark away for certain styles and has Suyan get away from back to the surface. He prevails with regards to getting Lori and The Wall on board his vehicle. Notwithstanding, the shark returns for another assault, and Toshi penances himself so the others can circumvent, stuffing a farewell letter to his better half that he was composing before into The Wall's pocket. The shark smashes the brought-down second sub, killing Toshi, while every other person gets to somewhere safe and secure. Howler later apologizes to Jonas for not trusting his cases. The circumstance isn't finished at this point, as the sub's obliteration has made a brief pocket of intensity vent upwards and permit the shark to move to ordinary sea waters. While Jonas attempts to leave and every other person talks among themselves, Miyang is playing with the RC ball through the corridors, however is scared by the unexpected appearance of the shark. The shark attempts to jump through the frame yet comes up short and leaves in the wake of killing a whale. The gathering at last chooses to track and toxin the shark to death by means of a little boat. At first they prevail with regards to following it, utilizing Jonas to shoot the tracker onto its blade and afterward reel him back in, scarcely trying not to get eaten by the shark. Then Suine goes down in a plastic tank to harm it while the others draw the shark in with mate. This prompts a serious showdown where the shark attempts to gulp down the enclosure with her in it. She prevails with regards to harming the shark, yet her veil breaks, and she almost suffocates. Jonas makes a plunge after her, and they nearly get eaten by the shark. Luckily, the toxin kicks in and the shark bites the dust. Jonas gets Suine back on board, and they revive her back to life. The group at first celebrates by taking photos of the wall with the shark's body before he falls into the water because of a trick from DJ. Jonas, nonetheless, sees the shark's teeth are more modest than the one from prior. This is obviously intended to be by a more modest, more youthful Megalodon they killed. Unexpectedly, the other greater shark from before shows up, gulping the wall entire and snatching the other Meg's cadaver off the boat with its teeth. This makes the boat get inverted, and Dr. Zhang is seriously harmed simultaneously. The shark returns around to attempt to eat Jax. However, Howard penances himself by diverting the shark to him, all things considered, and he gets eaten. The enduring team evade utilizing speedboats and Morris brings in a help helicopter to take shots at the shark, effectively pursuing it away. Notwithstanding, Dr. Zhang kicks the bucket from his injuries in the boat, yet not before weepy final expressions of pride to his little girl. Sometime thereafter, Morris lets the group know that they're closing down Mono 1 and the experts in various Asian nations have been called to manage the shark. Notwithstanding, it turns out he's telling a blatant lie, and he really brought in a minor military help to attempt to kill the shark on his own utilizing profundity charges dropped from the helicopter. He goes out on a boat with some others, and it appears to work from the get-go. Just for it to turn out they just exploded and killed the whale by accident, all things being equal, baiting a few close by customary sharks, and later the Meg, who drives them away, to devour its carcass. Morris gets knocked off the getting away from boat and attempts to send the dead whale, just to be eaten entire by the shark. The group figures out the shark is setting out toward a close-by famous ocean side in China and plans to bait the shark away from the ocean side with whale commotion accounts and afterward torpedo its crew, the smaller than usual subs. The shark at first goes after a close-by Chinese wedding party on another boat and apparently eats the lady's canine Pippin, before momentarily threatening local people at the ocean side. It quits going after when it hears the whale commotions and takes the snare. This leads into an enormous pursuit among Jonas and the shark, as he drives it to Suine who hits it with a torpedo, however it sits idle. Surprisingly more dreadful, is that Jonas' torpedo won't fire. During the battle, a gathering of information helicopters attempting to film the activity moronically collide with one another and the destruction crashes onto the group's boat, compelling everybody into the water. Suine goes to help the others, while Jonas, trying to safeguard everybody, goes head-on with the shark, slicking its underside open gravely with the sub. He then, at that point, escapes the sub once the shark has a go at battering it and cuts it through the eye, mortally injuring it. 12 normal sharks move in to polish it off and decimate it, finishing the danger. With the peril past, Everybody refocuses on board the wedding couple's boat, including Pippin the canine, who ended up having May do. Jonas and Suine are probably now a couple, their sentiments being indicated all through before in the film. The film closes with everybody praising their triumph, and the seas are currently protected.